Imagine standing in your own living room, clutching your house keys while a complete stranger's yelling at the cops that you are the trespasser. I know sounds like a bad sitcom pilot, right? Except it's not. That was my actual day, and let me tell you, it was way less funny and a whole lot more infuriating than you'd think. We just moved into our new house, the one my wife and I had scraped and clawed to buy, the one we'd picked to raise our first child. We were still figuring out where to hang the wedding photos, still arguing about where the crib should go, still calling the pizza place because we hadn't found the pots and pans. It was supposed to be our quiet start, a fresh chapter. But in less than 2 days, some kid I'd never met was on my porch claiming he wanted to move in like he'd just found a lost Airbnb. And that was only the prelude. So here's how it started. It's early evening, I'm hanging up baby onesies. Wife is glowing in that mom-to-be way. And there's this gentle little knock. Not the I'm selling cookies knock. More like, I'm not sure if I should even be here. I open the door, and this teenager, no young man, maybe 18 tops, stares at me. Oversized backpack hair sticking up every direction. Thick glasses he keeps pushing up his nose. And then he says with the seriousness of someone asking for a kidney, I want to live here. I blink, look past him, half expecting a hidden camera, maybe some friends giggling in the bushes. But it's just him. I laugh, thinking it's a prank, but his face doesn't move. He just stands there waiting for me to say yes. I tell him nicely that no, the house isn't for rent. We're expecting a baby. It's our home. He frowns, shrugs, and says, okay, but think about it. I need a place to stay. And this one looks affordable. I swear if there was a trophy for misplaced confidence, this kid was taking home the gold. So I close the door, still shaking my head, already rehearsing how I'm going to tell this story to my wife. She laughs so hard she nearly drops a box of baby wipes. We chalk it up as a weird one-off thing, right? But, oh, if only. The next night, just as my wife sets dinner down, the bell rings. I grumble about DoorDash messing up again, except when I open the door, there's the same kid. And this time he's brought backup, his mom. Now this woman, you could spot her a mile away, sunglasses on her head like a tiara, lips pressed so tight it looked painful. She cuts right to the chase. My son came here yesterday and you refused to discuss his future housing. She says it like I denied him a spot at Harvard. I try to stay polite, explain again, it's not for rent. We just moved in, we're having a baby, the whole deal. She doesn't budge. Everything is negotiable, she says, leaning in like she's about to offer me hush money. When I laugh honestly, I couldn't help it. Her face turns into something you see in a horror movie right before the jump scare. Did you think we wanted a room? You will give him the entire house. Like what? My brain short-circuited. I close the door again, but she starts pounding, open up. Open up. This is our right. My wife is 6 months pregnant, sitting in the kitchen clutching her stomach. That's when I know it's crossed from weird to dangerous. I help her to our bedroom, whisper that I'll handle it and try to keep calm. And then just when I'm about to go back to war at the front door, I hear sirens police. And would you believe Karen's out front waving her arms like she's directing traffic in a disaster movie, screaming at the cops that there are squatters inside her son's home. She's got tears, but the kind you squeeze out, not the kind you feel. The officers take it all in, then come up to me. Sir, do you have proof this is your house? I don't even get mad at this point. I go inside, grab the folder with our deed closing papers, tax stuff, the whole boring stack of adulting. Karen's hovering, already screaming that it's all fake, squatters do this all the time, but the officers take their time, look through every paper, ignore her nonsense. Finally, the older officer says, "This appears to be legitimate." Karen loses it. Her son, to his credit, looks like he wishes the earth would swallow him up. The officers ask for their proof, which shocker they don't have. He doesn't need paperwork. Karen barks, "We know the truth." Eventually, the officers warn her that filing false reports is a crime, and if she doesn't calm down, she'll be arrested. She screams discrimination, harassment, the whole Karen playbook. And then, she's cuffed right there on my lawn, yelling she'll sue everyone from me to the officers to the city council. Her son vanishes down the street. The cops finally drive off, the neighborhood watches from behind curtains, and I just stand there. My wife asks, "Are we okay?" I say, "For now." But in my gut, I know people like her don't just let it go. Over the next few days, the crazy ramps up. Tire tracks across our lawn, trash cans knocked over, anonymous notes, messy handwriting stuff like, "You don't belong, get out before things get worse." Packages go missing. Cameras not ours but theirs pop up across the street. Cheap intimidation. My wife's stress is climbing, and honestly, so is mine. One night I catch a girl barely out of high school shoving something in our mailbox. She bolts, but not before I spot her jumping into a black Prius. The note inside, "Give the house back. You stole it from a family who needs it more. If you don't leave, you'll regret it. It's not subtle anymore." Then comes the interim HOA committee, I kid you not. Clipboards, printed forms talking about how the community is forming a homeowners association, and a complaint has been filed against us for disturbing the neighborhood. There is no HOA. Never has been. But these folks think with enough paperwork and collective side-eye they can force us out. Every time I say no, they threaten legal action. One even tells me it's for the safety of the community, right? Because we are the threat. It's theater, bad community theater, middle school level drama, but it's enough to make my pregnant wife cry. That's when I start documenting everything. Every note, every package, every conversation. And of course, Karen isn't done. She comes back late at night, even after the cops tell her to stay away. One night I catch her son and a friend at our water meter trying to shut off our water to a house with a pregnant woman. I snap a photo, call the cops. Next morning, the police are back this time because Karen claims I threatened her son. I show the officers the picture. Karen tries to grab my phone and throw it right in front of them. She gets arrested again, this time for tampering false reports, the works. But even with her gone, her little supporters keep stirring up trouble. My wife's scared to leave the house. Some neighbors believe us, others believe her. There's a meeting at the community green about us, the intruders. A few kind folks stand up for us, but most just want the drama to disappear. Then out of nowhere, a letter from a lawyer, one of those expensive ones whose name sounds like a failed sitcom character, a cease and desist claiming, "I'm the aggressor, that I've created a hostile environment, demanding I apologize, take down footage, stop talking about Karen." My own attorney, when I show him the letter, just laughs. Noise, he calls it. Empty noise. Don't even reply, but keep your evidence. Finally, as all the masks drop, the police step in for good. Karen is denied bail. Her lawyer dumps her, and suddenly the interim HOA crowd melts into the bushes. Mrs. Henderson, the old lady across the street, comes over and gives my wife a real honest-to-God hug. For the first time in weeks, we don't feel totally alone. And here's the kicker. When the dust settles and the neighborhood stares at us like we're a Netflix documentary waiting to happen, I realize your home is only yours as long as you fight for it. People will try to rewrite your story. They'll lie, conspire, and try to break you down piece by piece. But you don't back down. You document, you defend, and you stand up for what's yours. So tell me, where do you draw the line? Have you ever stood your ground against the Karens? The fake HOAs, the neighbor who just won't quit? Drop your story below. Let's talk about justice, about right and wrong, because trust me, in this world, the battle for your own front door is never as simple as turning the key.